before we start with the prayers. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare। आज का टॉपिक जो है, आज जिसके ऊपर हम बात करने वाले हैं, उसका टॉपिक का नाम है व्हाट्स रॉन्ग विद सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन। मज़ा करने में क्या दिक्कत है, क्या प्रॉब्लम है? कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, कर लीजिए, कोई दिक्कत नहीं, उसका रिजल्ट आपको मिलने वाला है। लीगली करेंगे इलीगली करेंगे तो जो कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस है उसको भुगतना ही है। अब प्रॉब्लम क्या है, दिक्कत क्या है? अगर मुझे मज़ा आ रहा है, मुझे हैप्पीनेस मिल रहा है, मुझे खुशी मिल रहा है, व्हाट्स द प्रॉब्लम इन डूइंग व्हाट आई वांट टू डू इट, वेदर इट्स माई विच प्लीजेस मी, माई सेंसेस, माई आईज, माई नोज, माई ईयर्स, माई टंग, माई सेंस ऑफ टच, अगर उससे मुझे खुशी मिल रही है, उससे मुझे आनंद मिल रहा है, उसमें प्रॉब्लम क्या है आपको? ये हरे कृष्णा वाले ना हमेशा ये मत करो, वो मत करो, ये मत करो, तो करे क्या बंदा? सो generally we also have this tendency to understand the difficulty with sense gratification. What is the problem? क्या दिक्कत है? So we'll try to analyze and understand the problem with sense gratification, problem with sense enjoyment. Let us discuss this point. First and foremost point ये है कि जो हमारा सेंस एन्जॉयमेंट का आइडिया है वो ही गलत है। ठीक है, अगर जो एन्जॉयमेंट के पीछे हम भाग रहे हैं, अगर खुशी हमको मिल गया, जो भी सेंस ऑब्जेक्ट मिलने के बाद आपको जो आनंद मिलती है, जो खुशी मिलती है, तो उसके बाद आपका ख़त्म होना चाहिए, मतलब आप सेटिस्फाइड होना चाहिए, आप कंटेंट होना चाहिए उसके बाद। But even after doing it n number of times, you are not satiated, you are not satisfied, you are frustrated, disturbed, and so many problems are happening to you in your life. That means what is given as happiness, what was given as ananda, what was given as bliss is actually a big, huge scam. That's what the problem is. That's what Krishna warns us in the Bhagavad Gita. He says, "Yun hi samsparshaja yoga dukkha yona evate." That enjoyment, that maza, that thrill, what we get by the sense, getting in touch with the sense object, is the cause of all the dukkha. भगवान श्री कृष्ण ने जो पूरा सृष्टि को बनाया वो अपनी भाषा में बता रहे हैं कि अगर आपके इंद्रिय के ऑब्जेक्ट्स के साथ टच करता है या उसको मिलता है, वो प्रॉब्लम का रूट कॉज है। दुख का योन एवच, इट्स अ वूम्ब ऑफ ऑल मटेरियल पैंग्स एंड मिजरीज। लेकिन जो हमको लगता है हमको आनंद मिल रहा, इट्स एन इल्यूशन, इट्स अ डोपामाइन किक, इट्स अ सेरोटोनिन किक, इट्स अ फील गुड केमिकल्स रिलीजिंग, दैट्स ऑल। समझ में रहा है? दुख योन एवते। नाउ लेट अस अंडरस्टैंड ग्रॉसली नाउ हाउ डज पीपल एंजॉय देयर सेंसेस. How does all of us generally by and large gratify ourselves? We gratify by tongue, we gratify by ears, we gratify our five senses, correct? No, the sense needs sense objects. And by and large, if you further put it in 4 numbers, we intoxicate, we gamble, we eat meat, and we have illicit sex. These are the 4 sinful activities on which our sense gratification stand. And what are the consequences? Forget about spiritual things, forget about Hare Krishnas, forget about sages and Mahatmas. Even practically speaking, people who indulge in it start with the so-called happiness and end up miserably in their life. Even materially speaking, their lives are ruined. There's no scope of spiritual advancement, there's no scope of spiritual ananda. Even materially, in their own level, whatever they want to aspire, achieve their respective goals, because whole 24 hours they cannot do all these things. Only some portion of the day they can do it, or some weekends they can. If they have the package of karma, they can do it. So it all comes with the package. So intoxication, any type of intoxication. So आप पियोगे, आपका लीवर खराब हो जाएगा, आप जल्दी मर जाओगे, आप कोई तरह भी इंटॉक्सिकेट करोगे, गांजा फूकोगे, बाकी तरह के इंटॉक्सिकेट करोगे, उसकी वजह से उस मोमेंट में आपको प्लेजर मिलेगा, बट यू हैव टू पे द प्राइज ऑफ द एंजॉयमेंट विथ योर लाइफ. देने के लिए तैयार तो कर लो, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. या गैम्बलिंग मज़ा आता है ना, गैम्बलर स्पिरिट, जो जुआ खेलने का जो नशा है ना, उसके लिए लोग उस नशा के चक्कर में वो गैम्बलिंग करते हैं. गैम्बलिंग की वजह से क्या होता है, ट्रूथफुलनेस चली जाती है. इंटॉक्सिकेशन की वजह से ऑस्टेरिटी करने की, तपस्या करने की कैपेसिटी चली जाती है. तो तपस्या भक्ति के लिए नहीं, इवन अपनी खुद की लाइफ की तपस्या के लिए, जाके पढ़ाई करना हो या लाइफ में कुछ कमाना हो या हेल्थ बनाना हो, तपस्या तो ज़रूरी है. विदाउट तपस्या मटेरियली ऑल्सो यू कैन नॉट अचीव एनीथिंग. तो इंटॉक्सिकेशन करने से वो तपस्या की कैपेसिटी चली जाएगी. मेक सेंस. देन इंटॉक्सिकेशन, गैम्बलिंग ना, ट्रूथफुलनेस, यू विल नॉट बी ट्रूथफुल. एंड जो भी आपके पास है, आजकल IPL चल रहा है, सट्टेबाज हो रही है, ड्रीम 11 में टीम बना रहे हैं, कितने पैसे लुट रहे हैं, आपके खुद के पैसे लुट रहे हैं. बाई चांस, बाई फ्लो किसी को 10 करोड़ मिल गया, 1 करोड़ मिल गया, बट जो करोड़पति में जीता था उसका हालत क्या हो गया बाद में. So if you are not rightly situated in Krishna consciousness, you will misutilize all these things. That's the problem. Gratification of senses is not an issue. Enjoyment of the senses are not an issue. But how do you enjoy? I began with that. If you enjoy minus Krishna, that is a problem, because your make is not like that, your manufacture is not like that, your design is not like that. So hence there's a problem. So intoxication ho gaya, gambling ho gaya, meat eating, non-veg khana. Non-veg is the number one reason for all the diseases what human being has, generally by and large. Cancer, lifestyle diseases like blood pressure, like your diabetes, all the root cause. Cancer, even the cancer number 2 cause for the death in the world. And all today, whatever pandemics and epidemics, whatever is happening today, the reason is the consumption of meat. The meat industry is also cause of your environmental degradation, climate change. One of the cause, food shortage, acute shortage of grains, because the food which is meant to be fed for the human beings, it is used to feed the cattle. समझ में आ रहा है? And the karmic reaction, as you sow, so shall you reap. By all these animalistic tendencies, you get a reaction in the form of tsunamis, earthquakes, unseasonal rains, then tornadoes, volcanoes. Most of the people today have these psychic issues because of this intoxication, illicit sex and gambling and meat eating. Every other person, they think that they're going to achieve a lot of things, but when they fail to get even an iota of happiness by these things, they go crazy, they go nuts, they go into depression, they even quit, they commit suicide, because the quantum of happiness which they're hankering for with trying all these means they're not getting. The fourth one, illicit sex. At what cost? At your own blood. Sex is not prohibited in Bhagavad Gita or in any Vedic literature, but how it has to be done. Dharma aviruddho kamosmi. Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, he says that sex which is not against dharma, which is meant for procreation of God consciousness, I am that. But when we do it minus that, without this sacred understanding, that creates a lot of difficulties. These days, unwanted and all those easy access to abortion pills, and thanks to the guidelines given by the Supreme Court for abortions, anyone can go and abort. Abortion is such a sinful activity. The child is in the womb of the mother and it has taken shelter there, and then the mother is killing the child in the womb of the mother. She's pregnant, she doesn't know she's carrying the child, and she delivers and throws out out of the window, kills within the womb. And even if it is born, who is the father, who is the mother? There's no responsibility in either case by the boy side or the girl side. What is going to happen? And when we have such kind of population, in other words, not so good population, what's going to happen to the world at large? So this sense enjoyment is actually causing problem. That's what Krishna in clear words in Bhagavad Gita, he says that happiness which is caused by the sense gratification, samsparshaja yoga, dukkha yona evate, it is in the beginning it is nectar. बाबू ने खाना खाया, मूवी देखा, ये किया, दारू पिया, nectar, मजा आ रहा है, but later it got transformed into poison, wish. But we fail to understand, we fail to note this because of the glitter, bit of the glamour. And in Kali Yuga, every other person, every single person is made to believe, अपन body है and body का enjoyment karna, sharir ka enjoyment karna, indriyon ka bho karna is the topmost goal of life. My education, my existence, my surrounding, my technology, my politicians, my politics, my schools, my colleges, my technology, my NASA, my ISRO, my everything what I see existing only for my pleasure, and everything is governed for the pleasure of the senses, which is on the wrong notion that you are the body. But we are not the body, we are spirit soul. As long as अपन spiritual level में enjoyment नहीं लेगा, हमको suffering भुगतना पड़ेगा. But the problem with spiritual enjoyment, it's not a problem, it's a reality also, that spiritual enjoyment, because we are conditioned with the bodily enjoyment, to get the real spiritual enjoyment, which is said to be unlimited, uninterrupted, everlasting, you have to pay the price. What is the price? You have to be a little tolerant. So first point is, in that sense, in the beginning it is nectar, later it becomes poisonous. So that is a problem with sense gratification. Now the problem or the difficulty for us in spiritual gratification is, or Krishna consciousness enjoyment is, in the beginning it is painful, it is difficult for us to tread the path of spiritual life. Say for example, we say get up early in the morning. Who would love to get up in the morning, early morning? No, we have this Netflix, we have this social media things, it drains our night sleep. I want to gratify my senses. People lose their eyesight using mobile phones with the blue light effect. The melatonin which have to be released from your brain to induce you to sleep, that is not released. बंदे को पता नहीं चल रहा कि बंदा active है, तो वो release ही नहीं करता. And what work has to happen in your body, throughout your body during the night period, which your body had to get rejuvenated, doesn't get rejuvenated. And the ability to handle the foreign elements, the viruses and bacteria, which is in other words called as immunity, gets compromised. समझ में आ रहा है? And you get attacked by diseases. Your enjoyment, your pleasure comes at a huge price, which you fail to realize only when you get into it, when you have some lifestyle diseases, when your life is at stake. Even at that point of time, if an opportunity comes, you will still gratify, because you are wired like that, you are trained like that. Hence, for us, it is difficult to comprehend when you come to Krishna consciousness. We are told, don't do this, don't do this. Just like a doctor tells a patient, beta, तेरे को दिक्कत है, तेरे को ये disease है, आपको ये नहीं खाना है, ये नहीं करना है, ये करना है. Do's and don'ts are there, and you have to take the medication. When he follows, the patient sincerely follows the directions of the doctor, the patient gets cured swiftly, quickly, he gets healthy. But the problem with all the patients, by and large all of us, we don't adhere, stick on to the instructions given by the doctor. The doctor is the spiritual master. He tells you have to chant the 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. You have to follow the 4 regulatory principles. You have to attend the Mangalati. You have to have the Prasadam. The 4 ABCDs: A for association, B for book reading, C for chanting, and D for that. When you follow these 4 alphabets, A, B, C, D of spiritual life, then it starts working on slowly, gradually. It takes time. To the degree of your severity of your disease, the medication is things A, B, C, D, but to the intensity you follow, to the degree you follow, to the seriousness with you follow, the degree that disease will get cured. First and foremost, what happens is the heart gets cleansed. The contamination, the impurities, the pollutants, the virus and bacteria which is making us sick by thinking that I am the body, gratification of my body and senses is the topmost product, that understanding is removed. I am eternal servant of Krishna. I am nothing to do with this material world. Yes, I need enjoyment. Enjoyment is my जन्म सिद्ध अधिकार. लेकिन वो enjoyment कहाँ से लूँगा, कैसे लूँगा, किधर से लूँगा, इसके लिए भगवान बोल रहे आप मेरे अंशो, you are my anshas, mama ivamsho jiva loka jiva bhuta sanatani. You are my eternal part and parcel of me, and you are meant to serve me, just like a hand is meant to serve the Supreme Lord, in the sense meant to serve this body. It is designed like that. It is made like that. If it starts serving itself, and start enjoying with the water like this without giving water to the stomach, it enjoys started eating food without giving to the stomach. Actually started rasgulla, gulab jam. It'll have some kind of enjoyment. It eventually that udara Indriyas ka revolt, they will not work eventually for it. Correct? No? So it has to cooperate for the welfare of the stomach. जब बंदा stomach में खिला देता है, automatically every part and parcel of your body gets nourished and gets new energy to survive and flourish. Just like when you pour water to the root of the tree, every twig, every flower, every bud, every leaf, every branch, every twig, every stem and every nook and corner of the root gets nourished. समझ में आ रहा है? So we are connected with Krishna. Mama Amsha Krishna. We are Anshas of Krishna. So we are designed in such a way to serve Krishna. So as long as we don't do it in this format, we are never going to be happy. The happiness, what you see is like nectar in the beginning, but it's going to be poisonous. Just like fish out of the water, the nature of the fish, the constitution of the fish, the existence of the fish is in the water. Now you take the fish out of the water and give all the luxuries which a living entity on the earth can experience, like what we want, all the sense objects, what we enjoy, you give it to the fish. Will fish be happy? It can never be happy. In the same way, we are residents, inhabitants of the spiritual world. We were with the Lord, dancing with the Lord, playing with the Lord. Ichcha dvesha samuttena dvanda mohena bharata. Because of envy for Krishna, because of desire of independent enjoyment of Krishna, we are in this material world. And that's why our enjoyment, the enjoyment what we do, as I said, it comes with a package and it is interjected and stopped with so many difficulties. Death takes everything away. Old age makes it invalid. Diseases makes it stop. And based on karma, we have to take birth again in different species. This is a reality, sir. Those who are hearing me are spiritually inclined. So you should understand the fundamentals of Bhagavad Gita. We have to suffer. Enjoyment, sense gratification minus Krishna is directly suffering. More the enjoyment, more the suffering. It's directly proportional. So, but I want enjoyment. I am seeking enjoyment. Every now and then I want pleasure. Krishna says, yes, I am the reservoir of pleasure. I am Ananda Ambudhi Vardhanam. That is a pleasure in Krishna consciousness. That pleasure is ever increasing in every step. But the point is, we have to pay for it. What is the payment? You have to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. When we do this, the tendency to gratify our senses minus Krishna deteriorates. And we start enjoying with Krishna. We have to have our food, we have to have our sleep, we have to do drinking water or whatever is required. The base requirements, nothing wrong in it. Nothing wrong in it. Even the extra requirements are nothing wrong in it, provided it is sanctioned by the Lord. Provides in the framework of Krishna consciousness. Just like we consume food 100%. I also consume food. But the food is the sanctified food. Yagna Shishta Shinashanto Muchyante Sarva Kilbishay. We take food which is offered in sacrifice to Krishna. That is sanctified food, which is freed from all sinful reactions. That food we consume. Hence, that food not only nourishes the body, purifies the mind, touches trains the intelligence and touches the soul. Hence, when we start working in this line, chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, associating with devotees, reading Srila Prabhupada books, our existence gets purified and then we start relishing it. But the analogy problem is we have reversed the hierarchy. We have reversed the hierarchy. Senses, mind, intelligence and the passenger, the Atma. Now Atma is supposed to guide the intelligence supposed to guide the mind, and mind is supposed to the senses, and the passenger has a smooth ride. But unfortunately what has happened, he has gone nuts. He doesn't know what to do with his life. The senses are dictating the mind what to do, and the mind tells the intelligence how to give the guidance to satisfy the desires of the senses, and each and every sense is dragging us here and there. Our mind is untamed, unbridled. The horses are compared to the senses and they are going hither and thither. What will happen to the passenger? He has a chaotic, tumultuous ride. He doesn't know where is he heading. in different 84 lakh species is traveling like this because of this uncontrolled senses, untamed mind and untrained intelligence. To have a smooth ride, you have to follow the hierarchy. The driver, the intelligence has to be trained. The training happens when you read thought-provoking books like Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, books authored by Srila Prabhupada. Then the intelligence gets convinced. He understands what is right, what is wrong, and behaves accordingly. And the senses which are not in control today, unbridled, untamed, will be regulated, will be chastised, which be controlled by the chanting of the mantra. The mind gets trained, the senses get tamed by chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantras. This hierarchy has to be set. Then we'll have a smooth ride. Then the most important thing is the trap. The senses, when I talk about senses, each and every senses are very powerful as a human being. There are living entities who lose their life. Many times in my previous lectures I have told this. There's one living entity who loses its life because of tongue. What is that? Matanga, fish. Fish जो है is expert in gratifying its tongue. Suddenly, although उसके समंदर में या कुएं में या पानी में के स्तोत्र में बहुत सारे ईटेबल्स है उसको खाने के लिए, लेकिन सडनली एक ऊपर से अजीब सा एक वर्म दिखता है उसको, अर्थ वर्म. ये क्या है? I want this, and goes and gets caught, and the fisherman lifts it up. It was expert in gratifying the senses. This fish, because of its tongue, loses its life. गया काम से, मर गया. And there's another living entity, because of its ears, loses its life. Deer. It's expert in running. It is the most fastest animal. Sometimes it even beats cheetah. Correct? But जब उसको hunter अपनी flute से, अपनी बांसुरी से मधुर आवाज निकलता है, it gets stunned. It doesn't move. It gets locked up there. And the hunter hunts it very easily. Shoots him dead. Correct? Because of this one sense of ear is very expert in, just wants to keep on hearing this wonderful music which is coming out of the flute. And this one living entity which loses its life, it's a powerful animal, huge, weighing tons, which loses its life because sense of touch. Hathi, elephant. The tuskers are caught when the female elephant, she-elephant is made, trained to go and entice the male elephant. It brushes the male elephant and the male elephant goes crazy and he would just want to indulge in sex with the she-elephant. He runs behind the she-elephant. She-elephant chases. In the sense, he's chased by the male elephant and she's so trained. There's a ditch arranged, covered with a green grass. And she goes this way and he's not in control. He just jumps into the pit, imprisoned for life, working like an ass with so much healthy body and strong bone. He's starved, kuch nahi khilaya jata. He rebels, he fights for to come out of it, but because his heavy body cannot climb out, and this just 50-60 kilo human being controls him, ripping apart, training him the way he wants him to be trained, and he works like anything. Just because he wanted to gratify the senses. Trapped for life. Don't you think most of people who indulge in these things, whole life they get trapped, legal or illegal? When they indulge in sex, they get trapped. Legally means for life. If you're chaste, if you're not chaste, if you're like a debauchee, you get into difficulties even otherwise also. See how our senses degrade us. What was the elephant? Elephant was like royal guy, got trapped. You know? Another living entity who get caught, get killed because of the sense of smell, nostrils. It's expert in gratifying its smell, gratifying its nostrils. Just like that honeybee. It's so powerful that it can even drill a hole together in a bark of a tree. That is the power of a honeybees together if they work out. But it is so enticed by the fragrance of the lotus flower. It hovers around the lotus flower, just want to be intoxicated with the fragrance of the lotus flower. भूल जाता है कि एग्ज़ाम आ गया, पढ़ने को नहीं था, फेल हो गया. इन द सेम वे एग्जाम्पल, इंटॉक्सिकेट होकर रह गया, रात हो गई और उसका पेटल्स को बंद हो गया, ही सफोकेट्स टू डेथ. अगले दिन जब सूरज उगता है तो उसका पेटल्स खुलती है, बंदा पड़ा है ऐसे मरा हुआ. Because he wanted to gratify his sense called nostril. Another wonderful animal or living entity which loses its life because of a sense of sight. मुझे देखना है, 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 दिखाओ 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 दिखाओ, हाँ दिखाओ किधर है. The moths during rainy season, you see even during October also when rainy season stops, these moths they just hover around the source of light, street lights sometimes, even inside your houses. And then when they go near the light, they feel some warmth. They get so excited, thrilled, being in the warmth of the heat emanated from the light. They just want to pierce inside the source of the light and enjoy that light. Sometimes even fire also. They rush into the fire. They rush into the light, and next day morning they're all dead, lying on the floor. All these living entities, Bhagavatam explains, in them only one sense is powerful. And hamara halat, all the five senses, including the mind and the developed intelligence, is so hyperactive and so strong. What to speak of us? But the beauty, but the advantage of human form of life is we can utilize all these wonderful senses in the service of the Lord, and we are entitled for the highest enjoyment. That's the specialty of human. Why you are going for low class enjoyment? Bhagavan Rishabhdev अपने पुत्रों को 100 पुत्रों को बताते हैं. He says, नायम देहुबाचे नृलोके कष्टान कामान अर्हते विड्भुजामे तपो दिव्यम येन पुत्रका येन सत्यम ब्रह्म सौख्यम त्वनंतम. You got this valuable human form of life. मनुष्य जन्म मिला है तुमको बेटा. इसको लो ग्रेड हैप्पीनेस में, बेस ग्रेड हैप्पीनेस में, तुच्छ एंजॉयमेंट में जो कुत्ते और सूअर को मिलता है, ऐसे एंजॉयमेंट में अपना ह्यूमन लाइफ मनुष्य जन्म व्यर्थ मत करो. सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन मत करो. जो मिट्टी खाने वाली, नंबर 30 खाने वाली कुत्ते और सुअर को मिलती है, तुमको ह्यूमन फॉर्म ऑफ लाइफ मिला है. यू आर एंटाइटल्ड फॉर अनलिमिटेड, अनइंटरप्टेड, एवरलास्टिंग हैप्पीनेस. व्हाट इज दैट हैप्पीनेस? हाउ डू get that happiness? When you do bhakti of Govinda. And that is what we are entitled for. Why you are happening for 10-second insignificant sexual happiness? That happiness should, if you got that, should be there, but you're looking for that. That means a scam, that's a scandal, that's a cheating going on every now and then. Life after life, I've been cheated like this. This life, after coming in touch with Krishna Consciousness, I should not get cheated. So these senses, yes, you need enjoyment, but there's a right way to do it, the highest way to do it, the best way to do it. And you have to pay a little price. What is that little price? That price is attentively chant Hare Krishna and hear the Hare Krishna. And associate with devotees, read Srila Prabhupada books, and have Krishna Conscious Prasadam, devotees Prasadam. Then this ABCD, if you do it, you will gradually get that bliss of Krishna Consciousness. Then these lower pleasures will not attract you. Param Drishtva Nivartate. Rasavarjam Rasopyasya Param Drishtva Nivartate. When you get a higher taste, lower base taste will automatically give up. You will not get enticed. A kid को when he's a kid, he keeps on playing with some छुपा छुपी खेलता है, नुक्कड़ खेलता है. बाद में उसको क्रिकेट खेलने का मजा आता है. जब क्रिकेट खेलो, फाइनली तुमको बैट मिला खेलने के लिए. छोटा बच्चा आके बोलता है, भाई भैया चलो ना छुपा छुपी खेलते हैं. तुम उसको बैट से मार दोगे क्योंकि बैटिंग मिला है. देन तुम और बड़े हो जाओगे, कॉलेज जाओगे, कॉलेज में लड़कियों के साथ बात कर रहे हो, एंड कोई फ्रेंड आके बोल रहे भैया चलो क्रिकेट खेलते हैं ना, तो तुम क्या करेगा? सो यू हैव डेवलप्ड अ हायर टेस्ट, ऑटोमेटिकली लोअर टेस्ट goes off. So that is the beauty of Krishna consciousness. But थोड़ा पेशेंस होना चाहिए, उत्साह, धैर्य, निश्चय. अगर ये हो जाएगा तो हमारा बेड़ा पार हो जाएगा. एंड जो हैंकरिंग हम कर रहे हैं, कोई भी टेक्नोलॉजी, कोई भी लड़की, कोई भी सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन, कोई भी लड़का, कोई भी चीज़ जो भौतिक जगत में है, हमको सेटिस्फाई नहीं कर सकता. हमारी मेक ही ऐसा है. जब तक हम भक्ति नहीं करते, भगवान की सेवा नहीं करते, वो जो हैंकरिंग है कभी सेटिस्फाई नहीं होगा. हम डिप्रेस ही रहेंगे, डिसअपॉइंटेड ही रहेंगे. सो भगवान बोल रहे छोड़ ये सब, मेरे शरण में आ. अहम त्वम सर्व पापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा सोचा. मैं देख लेगा तेरे को. बट हम हैं कि गधे हैं कि पीछे बढ़े जा रहे हैं. इसलिए ये इस सबको समझना बहुत मुश्किल है. बट अगर ABCD करेंगे आप, ऑटोमेटिकली, नेचुरली, ईजिली आप ये सब समझ पाएंगे, एंड यू कैन एन्जॉय द अनलिमिटेड एवरलास्टिंग हैप्पीनेस. सो विद दिस आई स्टॉप हियर. थैंक यू सो मच. हरे कृष्णा.